my name is Kalita. In our last video, we talked about when we need to use the definite article the. In summary, we always need to use the word the when we are talking about something specific, or when the listener or reader already know the identity of the noun that we are talking about. With that being said, there are, as always, rules about when we need to use the word the. These can be specific situations when we need to use the word the, or when we don't. This video will explain some of these specific situations that require us to use the word the in partnership with other words in a sentence. In our last video, we learned the first few general rules about using the word the. Today, we will start by reviewing these rules, and then we will learn some more rules that are more specific. First of all, if something has already been talked about in a conversation or in written form, we have to use the. For example, I made some bread yesterday. The bread tasted delicious. There was a beautiful blue bird sitting in a tree. The bird was singing a lovely song. My son took a picture yesterday. The picture was of a beautiful sunset. Sometimes we can make an assumption that there is only one of something, or even just one of something in that location. If we believe that this assumption would also be made by someone else, we have to use the word the, even if it hasn't been mentioned before. For example, turn left just after the bright yellow house. The sun is the closest star to the earth. My son loved the book that he got for Christmas. If we are identifying a particular person or thing in a sentence or clause, we also need to use the word the. For example, the bike hit the side of my car as it drove past. The author winked at me when he talked about the third chapter of this book. I'm going to see the doctor this afternoon. In these cases, even though there is more than one of each thing being talked about, we are only talking about a particular one. Only one bike hit my car. Only one author was winking, and I'm only going to see one doctor. Similarly, if we use a superlative in a sentence, we need to use the word the, because using a superlative automatically means that there is only one of the thing being talked about. For example, that building is the tallest building in New York. He is the tallest 3-year-old I've ever seen. This is the best toy for babies. We use the word the to talk about musical instruments, services, and systems. For example, my son plays the guitar. I called the police. The train is an economical mode of transportation. We also use the word the when we use adjectives to talk about groups of people. For example, family members should take care of the elderly. I work with the unemployed. Life is challenging for the poor. When we are talking about ordinal numbers or a specific decade, we use the word the. For example, he grew up in the 80s. The house was built in the 1820s. This is the third time I've told you. The word only forces us to use the word the because the word only indicates that something is unique or that there is one of that thing. For example, the only time I ate escargot, it was overcooked. You're the only person who listens to me. We enjoyed being outside on the only sunny day that we had. We also use the word the with newspaper names, famous buildings, monuments, museums, and works of art. For example, the Eiffel Tower, the New York Times, the Mona Lisa. When we talk about an individual, we don't use the word the. However, when we talk about a family group using their last name, we do need the word the. For example, we got invited to the Smith's house for dinner. Let's stop by the Williams's place after practice. Be aware that geographical names can be confusing because sometimes the word the is required and sometimes it is not. We use the with large areas, deserts, oceans, rivers, groups of islands, united countries, plural countries, and mountain ranges. For example, the Sahara, the United States, the Rocky Mountains, and the Nile. However, we do not use the with streets, cities, states, most countries, continents, and single islands, lakes, or mountains. For example, Canada, Mount Everest, North America. Sometimes it is just as important to understand when we do not need an article as it is to know when we do need one. Some common nouns that do not require an article are names of languages and nationalities, such as English, Korean, or French. Sports, such as hockey, basketball, or soccer. Meals, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. People, professions, or titles, such as John, Prince Charles, or engineering. Stores, such as Walmart, Winners, or Costco. And subjects, such as math, chemistry, or art. Please note that this is when we are using these names as a noun rather than an adjective. If these words are being used as an adjective, then you still need to decide if the word the is required based on the noun that is being referred to. For example, we would say, I like art, which does not require an article. However, if I were to say, I like the art teacher, now the article is required as we are referring to the teacher, with art being used as an adjective to describe the teacher. We will talk more about when an article is not required in a future video. In the meantime, I would like to challenge you to write down 10 sentences of your own that use the word the appropriately, at least once. Then practice saying the sentences so that you get used to using the word the correctly. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Facebook for more English tips every day. See you again soon.